In today's conversation, I'm sitting down with Landin Brow, owner of Nova Auto Detailing here in Edmonton, Alberta. Landon has been operating Nova Auto for the past 8 years, and we're talking all about his journey with that and even before he started Nova Auto. Landon and I met in business school 8 or 9 years ago, and he shares what he found to be helpful in entrepreneurship and maybe not so helpful in entrepreneurship from going to traditional business school. What I really love about this conversation is that the insight and the advice that Landon's sharing for other entrepreneurs is not your average fluffy advice that we're very used to hearing. He really emphasizes that it doesn't have to be that serious, taking the pressure off of your entrepreneurial journey, your business, and just doing it and staying open to what unfolds along the way. Another thing that really stands out in this conversation is the power of connection, having mentors and connections in your life that are supportive that you can go to for guidance or advice in both life and business. I'm so grateful to Landon for being vulnerable and coming on to chat with me today. Welcome to Ebbs and Flows with Erin. In this show, we're getting real about navigating the ups and downs of life together. I'm your host, Erin, and we're ditching the pressure to have it all figured out along the way because honestly, nobody does. We'll explore all things healing, growing, creating, and connecting. And if you deal with anxiety, depression, being a highly sensitive person, or just feeling overwhelmed by life sometimes, I see you, and this show is for you. My intention with these conversations is simple: to leave you feeling empowered, validated, and most importantly, reminded that you are never alone, no matter where you're at on your own journey. Thank you for being here, and now let's get into it. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to Ebbs and Flows with Erin. I'm here today with Landon, my brother, owner of Nova.
You can never say it. Nova
It's not
Auto
even hard
Detailing.
to say.
Just say, you can say Nova Auto. It's a long one.
Owner of Nova Auto Detailing here in Edmonton, Alberta. How are you doing today, Landon?
Good. I'm excited.
I'm so excited that we're talking. I'm excited to hear more about your story behind Nova and get a little into your brain.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you want to start off just telling us, I mean, I feel like I've always known you as Landon, owner of Nova Auto Detailing.
Yes.
Even though I haven't actually, we go way back before that, but I'd like to hear a little bit more about what gave you the inspiration to start the business and why car detailing.
For sure. There's I guess further back why I wanted to start it was just seeing my dad. Like I've kind of talked to you about this before, but my dad just worked 30 years as a power engineer at Dow Chemical. He really he set us up with that job for sure, but I could just see he was super stressed out. He missed a lot of Christmases with us because he was just on shift work. So and then towards the end of his career, he basically got a severance, and then he started Go Bros Renos, and he's been doing that for a while now. But seeing the shift from him coming from a job that he liked it, but he's so much happier doing his own thing. And just seeing him do that really inspired me to be an entrepreneur. And I knew from a young age that that's what I wanted to do. And then basically in high school in grade 10, I got hired at Sherwood Park Dodge to do detailing there. And I would work 4 till 9 every single night. And I got paid really good money. And I got to work on sweet cars. And I just genuinely loved it. I didn't really like the car cleaning fact of it, but just being in the dealership, and being in that hustle culture kind of thing. Everyone's a hustler. You get to meet a lot of really cool people. A lot of rich people have cars. They're fun to talk to. You talk to them about their car and you get to learn, well, what do you do? And it's a very easy gateway conversation to learning about business. And even with the owner of that dealership back then, the GM, I got to know them pretty well. And then, basically graduated high school. And then I was kind of the 2 months where you're scrambling, what do you want to do? And I just kind of decided, I was I'll go to NAIT because their business program just kind of seemed somewhat more fitting to me than going to U of A or McEwen. But I was also going to go into instrumentation at NAIT. So that was my original plan, but it just kind of, that didn't really seem fitting for me. So I was okay, well, I'll just switch to business. So then, first year business school kind of was just going through the motions. Didn't work. I was just doing full-time school. And then just kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I think college just gave me it gave me more of a drive even to be an entrepreneur. Cause I just, it's just, I found it was a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and it was just
100%.
a bunch of people just talking through their ass, like quite honestly, like of just like business. And I was just like, this isn't, I don't know. My dad had like no business experience, and he like built a business with like basically zero marketing, just honestly being a good person, doing good work. And like the referrals came like, but like in business school, it was all just like networking and like doing like all this weird terminology would be like KPIs and SWOT analysis and pest analysis and
You're like
CREST
giving me
analysis.
PTSD.
I know. And I'm just like, well, this is weird. And then it was like first year there was like a job fair thing, and I like went to it, and I was just like, all right, let's like chat with like people like I did at the dealership. Like I'll do the same thing, go out to people. I'm talking to these people, and I'm just like, what's going on here? And like the starting salary is like $40,000 a year. And I'm just like, well, that's what I'm making now. Like even when out of high school, like I was making like $10,000 to $15,000 working part-time. Like, and I'm just like, okay. So then I kind of started doing detailing then on like the side. Cause I was just like, I know what to do. I know what to charge, and I'm like good at it. So I do like the odd work for my dad. And then I would go to like people's houses and like detail in their driveway or whatever. And then, you make like $300-400 doing a detail. And then, yeah, second year kind of came at Nate, and then it was like, you start to pick, do you want to do marketing, accounting, all that stuff. So then I was just like kind of going through the motions on that. And then, the detailing, honestly, I was making like really good money just doing that on the side. Like I was doing like a little bit here and there in people's driveways. And then I was just like, okay, I think I just got to pursue this. And I really always did want to own a dealership. And I think that is still my goal, but I kind of have to connect the pieces throughout to do that. I just basically second year, I started working for Steve Scobie, which he owns Dunwell Property Services, and then Cam Massey, he also owns that with them.
Right.
So I need at that point, I needed like a summer job, because I was like, I just need a little bit more structure.
Yeah.
So I messaged him, and I've known Steve pretty much my whole life. Like he was my babysitter way back in the day.
Way.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know. Not a lot of people know that. Yeah. He's like 11 years older than me, but yeah, babysitter. My parents and his parents were like really close back in the day. So I just shot him a message on Instagram, and I said, hey man, like I'm looking for like a summer gig. This was in year 2 university. So, and he was like, yeah, sure. Like we're hiring, doing like snow removal in the winter, and then doing, lawn cutting and landscaping in the summer. So I was like, okay, sweet. So I met him in, Cam, and then I got working for them for a while, and it had just more structure in my life, because with the detailing, it was just like, at that point I wasn't like disciplined enough to actually go out and get the work and stuff. And I would just kind of work like leisurely. And I'm like, I am more of a structure person. Like usually entrepreneurs like aren't, but I am definitely more of a structure person.
Yeah.
So then I kept having to leave work like early some days.
Right.
And they'd always be like, why are you leaving work early? And I was like, oh, because I do this thing on the side, like detailing. And they were like, oh, okay. And then he had connected me with Dan then at that point, Matijak. And I went and cleaned his like R8 and then his G-Wagon, 2 of my dream cars or whatever.
Yeah.
And I kept doing it. And then they're like, okay, like we can either help you start this business and like get it off the ground and figure it out, but you can't be leaving work like all the time this early kind of thing.
Yeah,
so then we all kind of sat down and we were like, okay, like how would this work? And it was a great opportunity for me to like, learn from 2 really successful entrepreneurs, but also like they provided me with shop space. Like I didn't have a shop before, right? So I was like, it was like weather dependent. If I could only clean cars in the summer and when it was nice out. So then it was like a great opportunity to learn from them. And and then that was like basically summer of year 2. And then year 3, that was like the first year of Nova. So year 3 university, or I guess college, because it's Nate, but still don't really understand the difference between that.
No, I agree.
Then I was like, doing it pretty much full time. And then that was when kind of you and me were at Nate together and stuff.
Yes. So I have always pretty much known you with Nova.
Pretty much. Like, I don't think, we didn't know each other. Well, Nova was only legit in like year 3 at university. So I met you the first 2 years.
Okay. I was thinking about that though, because I think we met in 3rd year, because I did my first 2 years, then I took a year off. Quote unquote.
Okay,
I thought I was just going to not come back for my degree.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'll get a job. They'll pay for my degree. It's going to be great. That didn't happen. And then I came back for my degree. So I think we did meet in year 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. So you've only known me Nova.
Yeah.
And then I just did all my school projects on Nova.
I remember too, I think the project we talked about previously was you guys presented on Dunwell.
Yes.
The group project
Yeah,
in
we
Drew's
did,
class.
and we
Yeah.
absolutely bombed it and got a 23%.
It was so
Sorry,
funny.
Steve and Cam.
It was mostly because you were in sweatpants.
Yeah, sweatpants and didn't know at all what we were doing. And that was,
That was
that
funny.
was year 3. That wasn't a good one. But then
That's-
after that, we pivoted to only do our projects on Nova, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's actually ideal to
It is.
at least you're presenting on something you care about.
Yeah, and then I got like a lot of feedback during school from a lot of teachers to like, you know, I learned from teachers to be like, this is a good thing. But again, though, it was always just so much like them talking to me about business. And then I talked to Steve and Cam, actual entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And then that got me to talking to like Dan and Warren and Mike. And all these guys are actual entrepreneurs. And the difference in conversation that you'd have with them and the difference at like school was like two opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Because like Nate was always so focused on like in marketing class, it's like you're going to start a business and then you have to do all these things. Like you're like targeting like your cost to target a customer. Like what's your cost going to be? And it's like, well, that's an impossible calculation. It's like it was just like, instead of just going out and doing the thing, they made it so complicated and like feeling like it's like this huge task and it's like extremely hard. And I was just like, oh, like, I don't know, like this doesn't make sense. So then I really honestly, like, I was pretty close to dropping out in year 3. Cause like at that point I was making decent money with Nova, decent money landscaping, but I really just wanted to go all in. Like I just didn't feel like I was in between these two worlds where it's like, okay, continue on with Nate and get a degree or, you know, just learn from these entrepreneurs. And honestly, the only reason I really stuck in it was because of Curtis. Like, we just had so much fun together and shout out Curtis Proctor. But, you know, he honestly was the reason that I kind of think I stayed with it because I just had a friend to go with the school every single day. We had so much fun. We did every single group project together. Drank at the Nest a little bit too much, but like the campus bars, hanging out there, going to McEwen, seeing our friends at U of A, McEwen. And
I forgot about that. We'd always go over to McEwen.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
funny.
Yeah, so it was just like, I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to live up the college life for a little bit. I'm still going to graduate and just finish it. So yeah, I think that's the only reason that, but it was definitely pretty hard to like do both. But like even in my first year Nova, year 3 of university, we did like 40 grand, which isn't a lot, but like that was me literally working like basically nothing. And then the next year we doubled it. And then the first year out of university, like, you know, we kept this growth, but it was like only really until I left Nate and I was like fully all in on it that everything started to click and make sense. But like, honestly, for like people out there that are like wanting to be entrepreneurs and starting a business, like I don't think necessarily school is the best route to go. Like I do think like if you want to start a business, like truly just find someone that does business and just try and learn from them. I do think that in business school though, there is really good things to do. Like I think I think my headphone just cut out. I can't hear myself.
You can't hear yourself?
No, I can't.
What the fuck?
Okay, so technological glitch.
Yeah, technical difficulties. We're back.
But like if I could definitely go back to Nate and redo it all, I would have definitely just took accounting or finance. Yeah. Because that's like the one part of business that like I'm missing, I'd say. Yeah. Like I'm always reaching out to Cam for bookkeeping advice and tax advice. And, you know, like you hear things like you start a holding company and do all this like tax stuff that's like tax efficient. It's like, oh, I wish I knew that. And then I talked to Warren, which he's a chartered accountant. And it's like when you talk to him, he just understands business so well. Yeah. And that's like the one part of business that I'd say I lack. But like all the other points of business, like you can learn just by doing. Like you don't, like marketing is like, we all know how to market. Like we've all grown up in the age of like cell phones and stuff. Yeah. It's like you see it every day. Like marketing's just shoved down your throat. So it's like, that's not an important part. Like I don't know, like for me, it's just like the accounting and the finance. Yes, definitely. But you can also learn those things without school. So yeah, I agree with all of that. I feel because I chose marketing for my specialization and I feel like resentful almost in a way. For sure. Ever since. So we're like 7 years out. Yeah. Because I'm like, okay, I spent all this time and money and it's something that I same thing, like wouldn't necessarily tell someone who even wants to go into marketing to take a degree in it. Because especially now there's so much you can learn without 100%. Going to traditional school. Yeah. And like we talked about a little while ago, there's elements that it helped with, like having to give speeches. Like I was terrified to speak
before business school, and then it helped me get more comfortable. But yeah, what you were saying too, of like they make it sound like there's so many like black and white steps you have to take in any business you're gonna do after business school, and it's almost like, to me, are they just trying to make more work
for sure
for us to have
for
to
sure.
do to like complete this degree?
100%.
Because yeah, you get out in the real world and you realize, oh, like that's not that they lied, but it's like that's not necessarily how it is.
No, you just do the thing. You really just you don't have to do SWOT analysis. You don't have to do stuff like that. And you just like, because I took the entrepreneurship program, which is honestly, I knew that getting a BBA was getting a BBA, so I took the easiest route to getting a BBA.
Yeah.
Like I was just like,
I need those letters will be nice.
It's just like that's all they look at. Like even Curtis, like he's like got a high up finance job.
Yep.
He never got a finance degree.
Yeah.
It's like, he
so
literally
true,
got the
actually.
same entrepreneurship degree as me. And they just hired him at the bank, and he like knows what to do, and he learned what he's doing at the bank. He didn't really necessarily learn it at finance. He's always been like really smart, and he's like fast to like learn stuff, but like he didn't learn that at Nate. So, and it's nothing against the program. Like I think it is really good for like a lot of people. It just wasn't good for me. Like it didn't, I've never been like a school person, but it was a great, like I learned how to work with people really well. And I like that you were working with like people of all ages at Nate. Like
that was cool.
Yeah, so like I was like super young at that point, but I got to work with like, you know, guys that were in their 30s, and then me and Chris would learn from them. So it was like, that was good. Working with people, like talking in public is really good. Like public speaking, that saved me in a couple of best man speeches and like wedding speeches and stuff like that. You know, like just having that in your back pocket is nice. Like you can actually, you know, that was tangible for me. But the rest of it, like, just, I don't know, I didn't really need a lot of it.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
think it's really cool that you had so many like mentors you could look to.
Yeah, 100%. Well. And people like, I am very blessed for that, because I got, you know, I had my dad to look up to with like starting a business. He gave me that first like spark, and then just like seeing Steve and Cam and stuff and like navigating that has been great for Nova. Like it's been really good. I'd say like, I think with owning a business, like the things that you think are going to be like hard are actually easy, and the things you think are going to be easy is actually hard. Like it's kind of opposite of what I thought was going to be, what it was going to be. Cause like I thought you start a business, and I thought the easy part would just be like, oh, then I just hire people and I can like kind of step away. It's like, it took me 7 years to get my first employee. So it was just me for like the longest time. And then what I thought was going to be hard was actually easy, like figuring out getting customers. Getting customers was like the easier part for me. Like always having work wasn't as hard as what I thought it was going to be, because I'm like, if you start a business, like how do you get the work? You know, like how do you like, but that part was actually not as hard as I thought it was going to be, but like hiring was super hard. Like that was imagine. Like, like just giving up your baby and like just putting your ego aside. Dan was like the one person that pushed me to hire the most. He's like, I always said, I was like, no one can wrap cars or like work on cars as good as me. Like, I'm just so good at what I do. And he's like, dude, you have to like put your ego aside, because you're just going to like, you can't, this isn't a business. Like, it's like literally, if you're not doing the work, then the business is worth nothing, right? Like at the end of the day, it's only worth what I'm willing to put into it. So learning how to hire and doing all that stuff has just been like a huge learning process. And this is my first year of running the business with actual employees, which is pretty crazy. I did like 7 years of just slaving.
That is crazy. I was going to say, I remember you working like pretty much 24/7 for years.
It's all I did. Like genuinely all I did. I think that's another thing too that I underestimated, is like truly how much work and discipline it actually takes. Like you're not told what to do, so you have to tell yourself what to do. You have to wake up every day with a purpose. You have to put your best foot forward, and just, it's constant discipline. It is like, it's like not motivation. It is so much different than motivation. It is purely discipline, because it's like, it's easy to do it when you're motivated, and it's easy like when things are going well, like when the business is making money and you're able to pay your bills and stuff, and like you're paying yourself, things are great. But when that stuff goes away, it's like, are you going to still be able to do that when you're not like, there's days where you lose money, there's months where you lose money, there's customers that are hard to deal with, and you have to still push forward, because the second, like in a job, you can just be like, I'm not feeling it this week, I'll take a sick day, or like, I'm not gonna be that productive this week, and you could just kind of more so relax. But like, you cannot do that in business, and that's something I think a lot of people underestimate.
That's a good point. It's all fun and games to like be your own boss until you actually have to be your own boss, and you're the one responsible for everything. 100%. And I don't think everyone is well, first of all, not everyone probably wants to do it,
Yeah.
and probably isn't cut out to hold that discipline.
Oh, for sure.
Especially because not even work-wise, but say you're going through something in life
Oh,
outside of work, you're having a bad day, a bad time, you struggle, you
Your
have to show up.
Yeah, your business doesn't care.
Yeah.
And your customers don't care.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah, that was definitely something I underestimated. But I've also been really good with dealing with that part of it. Like, I think honestly, I think that's why I've had success with running a business is like, I honestly think I can just outwork like most people.
Yeah,
and I
do
grind.
yeah,
I can
I've
like,
seen it for literally years now.
And like, that's where I feel like the least anxious. As soon as like I'm slow and I'm not like working, like I get super anxious about it. So I just have to keep going. But that also can just like burn you out, which I've done. I've gone through a lot of my burnout phases and stuff like that, and like coping with that and learning to get through that stuff has been pretty challenging. But
is there anything you've learned to kind of put in place so that you can avoid burnout?
I'm still struggling with it, honestly. Like you get, I think the biggest thing though is like having something else that you're chasing that isn't just always business. I've been so like caught up in trying to like compete with all my older buddies and even my like younger buddies. They're just like freaks. Like honestly, like Lucas is always running. Nolan's always working out. They're always just like it's just this constant like competition, but it's finding like passion outside of work and like not letting like work be your only dictator on like happiness. Like I'd be really happy if Nova had a good profitable month and the revenue was high, and that was my only indicator of happy or sad. Leah, like when I met Leah or whatever, like she even noticed it. She's like, you can't just like live like this. Like 1 month you're like super happy, 1 month you're super.
You can't depend on this.
So the gym has helped me a lot with that, like just having something else to like chase, like other goals, stuff like that. And just like separating myself from work and not having like, I would always like see people and they would always talk to me about Nova, which is like fine. Like I like talking about work and business, but like it was all the time. I would go to a party, I would work like 12-hour days, 5 days a week. And then I'd go to like a party or hang out with friends. And then someone would just talk to me about Nova for like 3 hours. And I would like entertain that. And I would be like, yeah. But it's like, my whole identity has been Nova.
Totally. Yeah.
And it's like separating myself from that has been like really important. And it's helped with the burnout. Having employees and just not working weekends has helped a lot.
I feel like I've even noticed it in you in literally the last year. Like you do seem lighter and you're like able to have kind of like relax more and have fun.
Yeah,
because even like when we'd see you, you were either coming from work, going to work, or you should have been working. And like it was all
yeah. And every night I'd be like, I got to work tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And I just never really. It was just all I did. Yeah. And it was all I obsessed over.
And it makes sense that your happiness depends on that when that's all you're really doing.
Yeah, 100%. So, like it was just like I just didn't have anything else that I really wanted to do or did. I gave up like a lot of my hobbies just to basically make ends meet with the business.
Yeah.
So I think that's like one thing that I definitely underestimated. But I wouldn't change it. Like I don't think the business would be successful if I didn't do that. Like
that's what I was just kind of thinking. Maybe that is a season, especially in the beginning of being an entrepreneur, that you kind of do have to go through in a way.
I don't think there's a way of avoiding it. I really don't. Like I think it's like you got to put in. I really like the saying in business, people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 10. Oh, and I think that's like very true. Like I really thought like when I first met Steve and Cam, I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire. Like I just saw these guys with like money and stuff. And I was just like, I'm going to do $1 million like in no time.
With a milli.
Yeah, literally. I was like, I'm good. But then, and I just thought it was going to be easy. But then as I've gone on, like I thought it was going to be like a really fast way to get a lot of money, but it hasn't been.
Yeah.
It was very slow at the beginning, but now it's really gained traction. In the last like 3 years or 4 years, it's been like really good. And it's just because like you learn so much. Like there's so many, even Leah in the last like 2 years, like the lessons she's learned and the things that and I've seen change with her. It's just like in business, I think like once you get that ball rolling, it doesn't stop. Yeah, it's just good when you keep it going. You
kind of have no choice but to learn. Yeah, I can't remember. So Landon and I recorded for about 3 minutes before I realized we weren't recording. And I don't know if we've mentioned in this one yet that Leah of Babyface Boutique, who's been on this podcast, is your wife. I don't know if we mentioned that in this one.
And your best
and
friend.
my bestie.
Yeah.
And they just celebrated 1 year of marriage.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. And I'm so happy for you guys. You're like genuinely the strongest, I think, couple I know.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
I love you both separately, but I love you guys together.
Oh, thank you.
My life is better with you guys in it.
Oh, that's
But
sweet.
so she's obviously also an entrepreneur, and when she was on this podcast, she credited you to like giving her the confidence to start her own business.
Yeah.
But I find it I always am fascinated by the fact that you both are business owners.
It's crazy.
Married, in your home, like though just your day-to-day life. Do you find that it changed once you both became business owners?
Oh yeah, for sure. Because she was a registered nurse before.
Yeah.
And then I was in the grind years of Nova. So we basically never saw each other. Like, honestly, like,
I remember.
Like, we lived together at the first condo in Sherwood Park. And, like, it was just passing each other in the hallways. It almost felt like. Yeah. So because you worked night shift work. And then I was just always working. She was
grinding. You were grinding.
So it was just, like, didn't really see each other a lot. And then, like, when she transitioned out of being a nurse and then, like, doing what she does now, it's been like so much better, but our lives are still very hectic. Like we don't really, our schedules are kind of crazy. Every day is basically like, when will you be home? Like you don't really know, you know, which is like sweet because, and we also give each other advice and we go through a lot of the same issues together at the same time. Like dealing with like crazy customers that you can just never please is like the biggest issue with business for sure. Like for me, it's like, that's way harder. I thought I could please everyone just by being nice. And sometimes you just, no matter what you do, you could break your back for some customers and it just they won't be happy. Like whether it's, you know, a quality issue, but it always comes down to a money issue for them more so I've realized. And like we both like just dealing with that together has been like really nice. Being able to vent to someone that's, you know, not my business partners has been really nice. And just learning from each other and knowing exactly what someone else is going through. Because until you own a business, you don't really understand like the actual like things that people can go through. It can seem like you might understand it, but like until you actually go through it, it's tough. And it's like
hard to relate to.
For sure. So it's like I have her and Steve and Cam instantly in my back pocket to just talk to about. That is really nice. And I think that's the only reason why I've like been able to like really keep going through like the grind years is like her and just having partners and friendships that like are in business that like understand it. So
I think that's super important to have
or
to look for if you don't automatically have it, like trying 100%. To find that because it's really important to feel like you can talk to someone who gets it.
100%.
So it's nice that you and Leah have each other. Do you find at all sometimes that you have to set, or have you set like a boundary where it's like, okay, as much as it's beneficial to have each other to like vent to, talk about business. Like I'm going through this in my business right now. I'm going through this in my business right now. Have you ever set like, okay, we're not talking about work at this time, or like this at this time, or do you just feel like you kind of flows?
We have set that rule. We're just not very good at following it. Like,
easier said than done.
Yeah, she's a hustler, and so am I. And like I think we are good for it though. Like when it's like, I don't know. Actually, I can't really say we are good at. I was gonna say like when we have like. When we're watching like shows and stuff, like we're trying to be off our phones, but like there's a lot of times where I'll just look over and she's just like, and it's like we're never like, which is kind of nice. We're never like doomsday scrolling. We're actually on our phones most of the time for like work
for a reason,
and we have to be like, hey, get off your phone.
Yeah.
So it's like, but when we go on like vacations and trips together, like when we were gone for Mexico for our wedding, like we were off our phones completely.
Yeah.
So we are good at like detaching here and there. We also both really understand like that's what it takes. Like, like, and I think that's another thing too that like is a good lesson that people need to know is like that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Like truly, if you want it to work, you just have to do it. Like, you know, like I see it with like every single entrepreneur. It doesn't matter when it is. The phone's ringing, you answer it.
Yeah.
You don't know what's on the other end of that phone call at any time. Like you miss that call, they're going to someone else, especially in my industry. Like it's so competitive. Like
totally.
There's so many detailing shops and it's like, how are you going to separate yourself? And again, that was like something in business school that they're like, oh, like you can separate yourself by this and like doing your opportunities and threats and like your competitors. It's like, no, like honestly, it just takes a decent amount of marketing and like to understand like marketing, hitting it from different avenues, trying different things. But marketing's only as important as if you miss that phone call, it's not important. You just, you burnt your lead, right? So I think just, like always being on it and just is like, it's part of it. It truly is. Like,
that's fair. And I think it's nice you both understand that and come from that, because I think if one of you was more so like you know, it would bother you. Like, no, we need to have these strict like
Yeah,
hours that
100%.
we're doing work. And if you're on your phone while we're watching this movie, like that, I feel like I'm like,
100%. Yeah.
you know, I think that could go sideways, but it's nice you both, and I see you both have like very
Yeah.
similar
It is
outlooks on
really
that.
nice. Like, if she gets a phone call while a show's watching, I'm instantly like pausing it. I'm not like, what are you doing on your phone?
Like, we're supposed to be together, which is so nice.
Yeah. It's like, and we're driving on a trip together in the mountains, like phone calls comes in, she understands.
Yeah.
Right. So I do really like that. Like, and I'm proud of her for starting a business because she, you know, like she did have a really good job before. So sometimes that's like super hard to leave. Like, it's like a comfortable salary. Our ends make a lot of money. And I was very impressed that she actually did that. Because for me, it was just like, all right, well, I'm not making any money. I might as well try this. And I had 2 really good mentors to help me do that. I had like so many entrepreneurs that I could follow. Like, it's not just Steve and Cam. It's like the whole.
You have an impressive circle.
Yeah, like they're pretty crazy, and they just know it so well. They built so many businesses, so I like it was easy for me. But for Leah, it was like she didn't go to business school. She went to nursing school, and I helped her like decent amount. But like really, like it's crazy how like girls and guys how different they operate is actually pretty crazy when you see it in like business. Like I was just like, I'll put my head down and work, and then figure and like almost like backtrack it, like just like be like, okay, what did I do to get here? But Leah is just so like methodical and like dialed in that she'll like plan like super far in advance, and she's like so on it, and I'm like just like I'll figure it out, you know. Like, so it's
cool to see that both work though,
for sure. Both they both are like recipes to success. I think my recipe though is easier to burn out in, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. But like, I don't know, they both work.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm grateful to be married to her, and and just see her grow her business and stuff. And I'm grateful for like the friends that I have to like, you know, learn business from them. And then even like my friends that aren't in business, like it's just cool seeing like all of my buddies that I've gone to school with and known since like in elementary playing soccer together, like just seeing everyone figuring out their careers, and like, cause it's tough, and we've gone through, our generation's gone through like a lot of just crazy stuff throughout the years, and we've all like kind of just made it work. And I'm like, very blessed to just kind of have that, I guess. So.
Yeah, I agree. It's really cool at this stage of life to kind of see what everyone's doing, and everyone's path can be so different, but for sure seeing how people figure it out. And even like you said, we've gone through so much. I remember when I did finish my first 2 years and I was like, I'm gonna get a job and I'm never gonna need my degree. I remember being told at the time, oh, this is just like the worst time in the economy, like you're not gonna find a job. And I'm like, I don't think the economy ever got better.
I know. No, it felt like it hasn't, for sure. It's been a constant grind. And I think a lot of times in school too, like a lot of people think it is just like part of the puzzle piece to be like, oh yeah, I'll just make $100,000 a year or $150,000 a year. And it's like, it's so far from that. It's actually kind of crazy. Oh my God,
it's so far from that. Yeah, a lot of people end up just doing absolutely nothing with what they went to school for.
100%. Like schooling's very tough. I think it is going to struggle in the next like little bit. Like especially with like, especially with like AI and people like being like, oh, I can learn this stuff.
Oh my God.
A lot.
In my day job right now, our whole like plan for over the next 6 months to years to use AI as much as possible and create bots for everything.
It's crazy. Like now we're going to go through even like more like employment stuff, which is going to be wild.
Can you imagine business school when we were in it, if we had all this like AI?
It'd
it would have been so easy.
I
know. Sometimes I feel myself feeling a little resentful. I'm like, oh, of course you're doing well in school. I don't know how they're going to
deal with that at like school, because like, you could just breeze by it.
Yeah, ChatGPT's like,
but the only thing that will like still exist though is like actual service. Like, hands-on businesses.
What you and Leah do, both services.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing sometimes that I worry about with like my business is that like as the economy struggles, it's not like a necessity, I guess. So he's always trying to like figure that out. There'll always be people that like buy nice cars and stuff. So it's just like,
and that's their prized possession. Like they're gonna make sure it's taken care of.
Yeah. So it's just like, but that's definitely one thing that I worry about. Like, you know, with like,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, as the economy kind of struggles and whatnot. But it's always, that's the other thing too, is you can always think about that stuff, but it always works out. Like it honestly does. I've had like down months and stuff like that, but like it always comes back around. And like I've had to definitely teach myself to just think that way and not get so caught up in the lows and not get caught up in the highs.
Yeah.
Because if you can stay in the middle of that, I'm bad for that though. I'm learning it.
Well, it's very easy to get caught up in that and kind of spiral in whatever is happening.
And like putting your ego aside. Like when I got the first shop, I honestly thought I was all that in a bag of chips. Like, because I was like, at that time I was like 23.
Well, it was impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, we all were very impressed by the shop. We loved the shop too.
Yeah, it was the best. Like, it was like we had the best parties there, and like during that era, like I was just like, man, like I did it. You know, like I thought like I achieved it all, but I was chasing like the wrong things at that time.
Yeah.
But I was like trying to keep up with the Joneses. Like I
Yeah.
was like, you know, I was friends with like all those older guys. And I just thought I was like, so I got super caught up in the highs. And then as soon as like I had some like challenging stuff with like being in that shop and then like growth and like just, I felt like I focused so much on just like being like the cool business owner that was like young, that then like I hit a wall. Like I just, and that was like probably my worst burnout, because I didn't know, you know, where I was going with the business. I didn't have like a solid like lease term with the building. So it was like at any point I felt like I was just going to get kicked out of that shop. And then I'm like, well, then what? Like, then my business is just done. And it's
unknowns.
like, there were so many things that were like pressuring down on like the business. And then like COVID hit and I was just like, oh God.
Yeah.
So I got super caught up in like the highs before that. And then when the lows hit, like I was just like, it's over. Like I was just like, it was like doomsday.
Yeah.
And then I survived COVID at that shop. And then Steve and Cam, they were like, okay, we really gotta figure out the shop situation. This business is really worth nothing if we don't like do something about it. And I always agreed, like, and we always were saving money to buy a shop. Yeah, now we just recently purchased like our building just like 15 minutes from Sherwood Park. And it's like an absolute dream. But throughout that, it was also the worst like transition ever, because it was like when you buy commercial, you have to put 30% down. So it was like our down payment was massive. I had the wedding coming up, and then I had to renovate the shop. It was not ready to be a detailing shop, and it was just like so much pressure. And then I got so caught up in those lows. Like it was just, and then trying to dig yourself out of that and like dig yourself out of the money pit is like quite a lot too. And I think that's when I was like talking about earlier. It's like when things are going good, it's super easy to be like motivated and do it. But like when things are going like, when things are just very high stress, just my down payment alone was like 160 grand. And it's like, which doesn't seem like a lot to some people, but like when you're running a business and you want to pay yourself, like you want to pay yourself a wage, and like me and Lee were buying a house soon, we had the wedding. It was just like, it was very, very pressing. But again, I just got so caught up in those lows. Like I was just like, and I just couldn't dig myself out of it. And then eventually like you start to kind of do it and you kind of dig yourself out. And like now I've just, after those like highs and lows, I just have just like tried to stay as neutral as I can. Just kind of just don't get too caught up in either side of it. Like, and that's, a lot of people are always like, oh, your shop is so sweet. And it's like, because I got the golf sim in there. It's like really cool. But I try not to just like, I'm like, yeah, I love it. It's awesome. But I don't try and go like to, like when I had the parties at the last shop, it was like, part of it was like, yeah, I want to party with my friends, but that I wanted new people to come to be like, to show it off. Like it was just like, it was definitely like an arrogance thing. Like it was.
Yeah. You don't want to make it like your personality.
Yeah. Like now I'm just like, yeah, it's awesome. I love it. But I just try and just don't get too caught up in it. And I try not to have that be like my identity again. Like I don't want my business to just be like, that's all people think of me for.
Yeah.
So trying to separate myself from the business has been like a lesson that I've definitely, you know, tried to learn throughout the years. And I don't think that's talked about enough too. Like a lot of business owners, like that's what they're just known for, you know, is their business. So.
Well, and especially in this age, I think that's really impressive and important that you learned that. But I think you've learned that even though, it's been so many years, but I think it actually came to you, like you're learning that and you were grasping that actually in a pretty efficient way. Like I think a lot of business owners, it's like years down the road where they've been riding this, like making it my whole identity, kind of like riding the high or getting lost in the lows and the highs.
For sure.
I feel like you actually, it's like very impressive to me that you learned that and like grasped that so early on, especially when you have now been in such a, I mean, I would assume it seems like a high from the outside, like with your new shop and you have a new house and you've gotten married. And now that I'm saying all that, I'm like, you went through so much growth and transformation at once. Yeah, it was a lot all at once. And it was like, all of it's very rewarding. It's just a showing of like who I'm surrounded by, I think. Yeah, true.
You know, I have a lot of people to look up to and a lot of people that like check me also. Like all of them. Like I can just name off so many friends, but like Curtis, Owen, Nolan, Colin, Colton, Benny, like literally Politis, like every single one of those guys, those are like the guys that just check me. And I don't have to be anyone when I'm with them. they love me for who I am, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. And that's same with like Dan and Warren and Cam and Steve and all of them. I have 2 friend groups that really ground me and motivate me in different ways. Like I find
Yeah.
like the younger guys motivate me, and like we don't really give a shit about your business or give a shit about business. We never talk about work. They're kind of like more like the fitness freaks, and just like they want to do that stuff and they compete in
Yeah.
that way. So I have them to kind of like talk to about that stuff and not have to prove myself in like what I do for work. And then with Steve and all them, like I just get like a lot of advice from them and like guidance from them. And like, yeah, I definitely want to chase them because they've achieved like a lot of success, but they also don't make me feel pressure, and like they don't really give a shit about like, you know, even though they've helped grow the business with me, that's not what they're
Yeah, you're not just their friend because they're in business with you.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's not that they are making you they are not meaning for you to feel like you have to chase or compete. But naturally, of course, you're seeing the success that they've created.
Yeah.
And you're motivated by it, but it can turn into feeling like you 100%. Need to keep up.
Oh, yeah.
Which is natural, I think,
100%.
too.
Like, literally 3 days ago, I had a crash about it. I'm like, is this going to be, like, the thing that makes me, like, you know, like, I don't really care about, like, being, like, rich. Like, I'm very comfortable in living, like, you know, like, I don't need a bigger house than what me and Leah have. Like, I don't need like all these things. I'm not a materialistic person. I honestly just genuinely love what I do. I'm very passionate about it. So it's like, that's my goal. But like, I was talking to them, I'm like, this is going to make me like rich. And they're like, dude, you're already like, you don't really need that. Like, you're doing fine. Like, it's like, they have to sometimes like backpedal and tell me like, okay, like, you know, you own X amount of this shop. Like, cause we split the shop 3 ways basically. And they're like, the equity in that shop alone will like be good for you in the future. Yeah, it's definitely like just a whole blend of just people giving me guidance and learning from, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a testament to like the type of person you are, because you and Leah both, you have so many truly strong connections and like supportive connections in your life, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, which can, of course, that's positive, but yeah, you can, all of us find ourselves looking and not even consciously competing or comparing, but you just do.
Yeah.
But it's nice that there are at least always like positive influences.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy. I like that one.
Yes, that's a good one. True. And it's so true. And especially in today's world, it's so hard to like not do that.
And I think in business, you just have to try and focus on like staying in your own lane. Like, don't get
kind of like blinders.
Yeah. Like there's so many, like I've also been caught up in like just looking at like competitors in the industry. But then I realized as I've been going in the industry, like a lot of us just work together. Like there's so many detailing shops that like they've called me and been like, hey, can you help me with this last minute? And we like honestly all help each other out. Like it's not, nice. It doesn't feel like a competition. And we're all kind of like in it together. It's kind of nice. Like, and I don't think a lot of people talk about that in business, is like your competitors aren't necessarily your enemy. Like I think a lot of times people think that, but like, man, a lot of us work together. Like I'll literally call one of my like favorite shops in Edmonton is Posh. They're like really good guys. And I'll call them and just be like, hey, how are things going? And they're like pretty open. They help me out with stuff. And then I recently started working with my buddy Gerson, and he owns G's Auto Service and Supplies, and me and him work together on a lot of things. Like, and it's like there's no, like sometimes in business I think people think that it's like a competition, but it's really not. So just stay in your own lane and like don't compare yourself too much. And actually, me and that Gerson guy started another business together just like 2 months ago.
Oh.
Where we're doing, it's called Urban Shade Home Styling, but we're gonna be doing like, because we do film on vehicles, like we don't clean cars. We basically install, I call it a condom for your vehicle. Like
nice.
You just put in like a clear plastic film protecting it. And then we do like wraps and stuff like that. But we're doing that basically now with houses. So we're doing like window tint on like windows to keep like heat out and like, so people don't see in. It's actually pretty sweet. Cause
is that what you guys just put on your front door, you and Leah?
Yeah, so you can't see in our house anymore. Cool. It's just like a mirror now.
I thought that was sick when I came last time. Yeah.
All of our windows now you can't see in, which is nice.
That's
so like,
so nice.
You know, someone that was like a competitor, I guess you could think of, but now we're like starting a business together. So it's like, and I think even like seeing like Steve and Cam, there's so many landscaping companies, but they like honestly work and sub out a lot of the companies. So it's like, I think there's a lot of things that like in business school they'll tell you, but you really just don't listen to that.
Don't really need to apply. Yeah. And it kind of comes down to your mindset, like having the abundant mindset of like, there's 100%. Enough out there for everyone, and just focusing on myself, trusting that's what's meant to be is going to be. Or you could come at it with like a scarcity mindset of, if they get business, I'm not going to have 100%. Business. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere.
Like there's 1 million, I don't know, I think there's like 1.5 million people that live in Edmonton and surrounding areas. Each one of those people have like 2 to 3 cars.
Yeah.
It's like there's a ton of cars to go around for, call it, maybe there's 20 detailing shops in Edmonton. Like, do the math. There's a ton of work for all of us. So yeah, I think sometimes at like business school, that was another thing that I was like so like wary of. It's just like they'd be like, oh, like, what's your niche market going to be, and what's your target demographic going to be? And then I'd be like, I don't know. And then they'd be like, you know, let's do an analysis on your competitors. I'm like, well, these guys I'm never going to catch up to. Like, I'm never going to be able to beat these guys. And I remember like thinking that before I started Nova. I'm like, how am I ever going to get to that point? And it's just a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most people can get, like, everyone can get to it. Like, I truly don't think, like, if you do good work and you are disciplined and you just put, like, even like you, like I was do you know Alex Hormozy?
Yeah.
He says, like, to be like successful in podcasting, you just got to post 10 podcasts and you've already beat out 90% of the competition. I mentioned that stat on my last episode with Grady, but yeah, the stat was something like that. Like, if you make it past 10 episodes, you're like the top 87% of podcasts or and
whatever.
It's like, it's just, and it's, you just got to understand that and just keep like, just keep discipline and stick with it and like invest in yourself. Like, that's a lot. You hear that a lot, but a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
Like, you just it's like that's such a, you just got to reinvest in your business. Okay, well, like, how are you doing that? You know, like, and understanding like where, you know, and that's the thing too, like with being an entrepreneur, is like being really smart with your money and where to put it is like another important thing that I think I didn't really understand in the beginning. Like, I just saw the revenue, I saw the profit, and I just wanted to pay myself a ton of money. And it's like, and Steve and Cam had to tell me, you know, you can't do that. You just,
it's not sustainable.
This money has to be used for something else to like grow the business, which was later on buying the shop. And then like, you know, it's like taking like little pay cuts here and there for like a bigger reward in the end. And like with an entrepreneur too, you don't, like, at the end of it, I don't get like a pension, you know what I mean? So that's something that like they don't talk to you really about in entrepreneurship school. They just talk about these guys that have like this $1 million idea, and they always talk about the idea. They never talk about like, it's like every person they had come through was just like this sick idea that you'd be like, holy shit, like that's, you know, that's a $1 million idea. And they never talked about like, you can just start a window cleaning company and be a multimillionaire. You can start a pressure washing company. You can start anything. Like, it doesn't have to be this great genius idea that no one's ever thought of before, and then you execute perfectly, and then you get like a massive payout at the end. Like, what are your goals in business and what do you want to do? Because it's like, for me, it's like, I just really liked working with cars, and I know whether it, you know, Nova then transitions into like the dealership, like I talked about, I've always wanted to own a dealership. Whether that transitions into that, then that's just a slow burn that it took to get there. But I will get there, and it doesn't have to be this like executed, thought out plan. Even before that, until I bought this shop, like I was like, how do I hire? And I tried to hire in the old shop and it didn't really work. And I was like, okay, like, is it something that I'm doing wrong? And like, you know, we were always like stepping over each other, and it was like really hard to get like a flow going. But me, I didn't realize that when I got the new shop, I was like, well, why can I like work in here? Like, why can I hire in here? And it's like worked out. It's because like the shop was like more efficient. Like, it's just like little things you don't think of. And you can only figure that out by going forward and then taking 10 steps back and like looking at it and like why it worked. And then now it's like, I've been working with like a lot of dealerships. Like, I've worked with Sherwood Motor Cars and Sigma Auto, a little bit with St. Albert Exotics. They're all exotic dealers, and they're all like boutique dealers. And I've learned how they've operated. Now I can be like, okay, like, you know, maybe now I can get into like the exotic car sales and stuff and like have like a different division of Nova. But I wouldn't have figured that out if I didn't just do the slow burn of like working with Nova and like getting a couple contracts. So I think like, in business, that's the biggest thing I've learned too. Sometimes you just have to just send it. Like, just do it. Just do it, and then figure out how you got there backwards. Like, if you're honestly like working backwards. So I think that a lot of people need to like also think that way.
Yeah. And that's a good point when you explain it that way. And I think where people probably run into viewing something as a failure is that they get scared when they hit that spot where it didn't work out. Yeah. And then they just kind of get scared and they stop. Yeah. So I think being able to go forward, and as you're explaining it too, it's kind of making me think of what like true manifestation is.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Because I was watching something recently again where they were talking about how it's been really made into this thing of like, it's something you do, and it's like this practice, but you are like constant, like every minute of the day you're manifesting. 100%. So like, it's what you're saying, you're just putting in you're taking action towards what you want.
Yeah, 100%.
And just trusting that, like, yeah, like you said, maybe I don't have an exact plan. Maybe it's this one way that I tried to do it didn't work, but like I know in the end that's what I want to happen, and I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah,
it can be as easy, not easy, but like that's how it works.
Yeah, it is. I listened to a podcast and it said basically your brain, if you like really like meditate and like just imagine something, your brain actually has a hard time discovering like when you imagine something and what's real.
Yeah.
Like, so like if you can just imagine like, what you want. And like for me, I'm like a pretty religious person. Like I grew up in the Christian church, and like Leah has brought me back into religion, but like I just like a lot of praying, like honestly, like that's helped me a lot. Like just being like, I don't know what I'm really doing here, but like I like just knowing and believing in a higher power to put me in the places that I need to be, and just accepting that. Like even if, because now I thought Nova was like my be all end all, so I had all my attachment to that. But even if now like it transitions into something else, I'm okay with that. Like I'm good with whatever, God's plan is for me, and whatever, that is, then I'm fine with that. But like, I think at the beginning I wasn't. Like I was just so, I was like, if this fails, it's over, But now it's like, and at any point, Nova will never be a failure. And I always thought that it's like, what if I like closed down? Well, I probably moved on to something else, or I sold it, or it's running completely without me. And
you've learned
that's
so
okay.
much no matter what.
Yeah. So it's like, it's never, it's never going to be a failure. And that like has given me a lot of grace, because you can get so caught up in like that you're not focused on the business anymore. You're just focused on like this doomsday, that's really never going to happen. And just being okay with like, separating yourself from it, manifesting like stuff that you want to happen, but also being okay with it if it doesn't work out. Like
I think that's really powerful. Trust and faith, like faith 100%. In a higher power is life changing, because it is that just when, no matter how much you're spiraling or what thought or what thing you're going through, you can go back to, okay, no matter what, this is going to work out for a reason, for my highest good.
Yeah.
No matter what. So you just can come back to that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it's a grueling battle. It's all so worth it. Like I truly wish, I really wish that every person on earth could actually just experience what it is to work for yourself.
Yeah.
And like nothing against, man, there's so many days that I would like to work, and I hate when people say the 9 to 5. I kind of get, it really drives me insane. I'm like, that's a super ignorant thing to say, because it is a great, no matter what way you look at it, it's a great life. Like people are like, oh, I don't want to work the 9 to 5. When you're an entrepreneur, it is shittier than that.
Yeah, it's honestly not just 9 to 5. It's 24/7.
Yeah, and it's just like annoying. And it's like, but if you can make like $100,000 a year, and you have like your company has RSP matching, you're guaranteed a good retirement at the end, you can actually pull the plug at like 55, 60 years old and retire.
Yeah.
Like that's, and some people are like, oh, like then you only start living at like 55, 60. I'm like, every 55 and 65-year-old person that I know is living their best life, and they're like, they're okay with that. So I don't like the entrepreneurs that are always like, 9 to 5. I could never do that. It's a great way of living.
Yeah.
Like either way you look at it, they're both great ways. So, but where was I going with that?
You wish everyone could experience.
Oh yeah. I wish everyone could experience like just actually working for themselves though. And even if it's not their full-time thing, but just the idea of like creating either a product or service and selling it and like making money off of it is like such a cool feeling. It really is. Like, and when you actually see something that like you started and it like grows into something, like I do have a lot of like pinch me moments when sometimes when I finish the workday, I'll just like, I love my LED lights, like,
Yes,
like,
the lights.
Like
yeah.
Like, I'll just stand in the shop and just look, and I'm like, damn, like this.
I created this.
Yeah. And like, I wish like a lot of people could experience that, but that can also be found in many other ways. But like,
True.
I really do wish that people, would take the seriousness out of it, I think, and just try it and be disciplined enough to just try and set goals. Like I always, literally every month, it's kind of a vicious cycle. It's like a good and a bad thing, but every month the first starts and I'm like, okay, what's my goal this month?
Okay.
I know my break even. I know like what I have to do to make no money, which is a scary number sometimes. You're like, oh, I have to make X amount just to make break even. But I know that number, and then I'm like, okay, let's see if I can hit X amount. And I do that every month, and then end of the year I do it fiscal year. I'm like, okay, I did this amount. Let's see if I can grow by 20%. And I just honestly, I'd like do everything in my power to get that number, and it always works. It's kind of, it's crazy. And even like the last year, I was like, I want to double last year's revenue. And I was like, that's kind of a crazy goal. And even Cam and Steve were like, like, you know, maybe let's aim for 20% growth. And I just was like, nah, I think I can double it. And I just did. And I literally just set my mind to that, and it just happened. But it's like, because and then at the end of the year, I just worked backwards on how it actually worked. Like I wasn't like, okay, I want to double my revenue. And I didn't really like, again, the Nate approach or like school approach would be like, all right, how are you going to do this? And you write this whole business plan. And it's like the amount of business plans we wrote that were like 85 pages long.
Oh my God.
The amount of like,
diabolical.
I did a whole semester project on Nova Auto, like a whole business plan. I've never opened that thing once. Not one freaking thing has been used out of it. But I literally just set a goal of mine, and then
made it happen.
And then Dan was over at the shop the other day. He was getting his vehicle done, and he was golfing upstairs, and he came down, and he's just like, man, last time I was here, like, you're talking about hiring employees, and now you have 3. And he's like, how'd you do it? And I was like, I didn't like, you know, like I didn't really have, like, I was just like, oh, well, I got the new shop, and then I was like really busy, and I hired 1, and then I hired 2 more.
I think that's kind of a superpower you have, because you're not overthinking these things.
Yeah.
You're just going and doing it.
And like it was, and like that is a lot of God too. Like it's like my first employee, his name's Harmon, works with me still. Best guy ever. He's so sweet. And I was just like, I was telling Leah, I'm like, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so stressed. Like I was working crazy hours, like crazy hours, and feeling burnt out. But the issue was this time, my burnout before, I could just be like, all right, I'm done. I had no lease. I had no nothing. I could literally just be like, all right, I'm good. But now I have a $500,000 mortgage on my business side, and then I have a $600,000 mortgage on my personal side. So like, I'm like, there is no like burning out here. Like, who the hell is going to pay the mortgage on the business side? And then one day I just look up, I'm working on a car. Some guy comes in, I think it's a customer. I'm like, hey, what do you want? And he's like, I just saw you guys on Instagram, and like, I love this shop. And he's like, would you be hiring by chance? And I was like, can you come in tomorrow? Like I literally, no so interview, like no, like, like no formal, like I don't even like that part, the interviewing process. Like I'll have people like call me and like ask for jobs, and like at that point, like I'm not hiring. But like the people that I did like try, I would just be like, yeah, come to the shop. That was same with Gerson. He was just like, hey man, like looking to like, he basically, like I subcontract him, but we work in the same shop. Like he's using my shop. But like when I first met him, he like came to me and he's just like, can I like work with you? And I was like, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Like I didn't do the whole, oh, let's sit down and like, what are your, you know, like what KPIs do you want to hit? It was just like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see what you got. Yeah. And then he came, and I was like, oh, he knows how to do film. And that was Harmon. I was just like, all right, see you tomorrow. And he came in. I was like, hey, and he laid film, and he knew what he was doing. And he's done a lot of vehicle wraps. I didn't know any of his experience before, but I could see his experience in the first 30 minutes he walked in the shop. Yeah. And then that was history for that. And he's been with me ever since. But I think, I just definitely just roll with the punches, and I just figure it out as I go. And I think a lot of people just need to approach that a lot more in business. It's not all the mumbo jumbo that people like make it out to be. It really is just like trial and error. And the trying doesn't need to be so methodical. Like the trying just needs to be trying. Like it just,
you know what you want to try. You have an intention, and you just act on that.
Yeah. And like, don't think the way you're doing things is like the only way to do things. Like listen to people. Like a lot of people are so caught up in their ego that they just won't listen. Like, and a lot of people too, like will talk to me, and like just because they're older than me, I think they like talk down to me. But it's like, you know, I've like, Nova's now like 8 years old, and it's like, you know, it's never had an unprofitable year. It's just, it's been very smooth. And but like people don't want to listen to that, you know, like they don't want to like listen to like because they're not very, like if I sat down with someone at Nate, they'd probably press me on every single thing that I'm saying, but it's worked. So it's like, and I think, it's just like being a business owner is just like putting out fires, also ripping through them, you know, like just, it's a crazy journey. It
totally.
Is. Yeah.
And I think it's really impressive, even, with having, like, I still work my full-time job, but once I started something, like you said, it doesn't have to be you don't necessarily, I find there's this narrative on social media, especially of like, if, like you said, if you're not working for yourself, like, what are you doing? You're wrong. Or like, you need to just quit what you're doing and go all in on your business, which yes, that I think when you're able to go all in on something, of course, all your energy is going to it. So you're probably going to get there quicker. Realistically, sometimes that's just not going to work out for people. Like we have mortgages, we have bills to pay.
Yeah,
you know,
it's so
like,
easy to say.
It's easy to say, but I find, like you said, even if there's a portion of your life that you have like passion, dedication, devotion to something that matters to you, and share it with the world and try and build something out of that. Like that made such a difference in my life. And kind of just trusting like whatever comes from it, it's going to come from it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to look the same as everyone else. But I do agree. I think if it would be cool if like everyone in the world could experience just doing something that they created themselves.
For sure. And I do think with like AI, that is the good thing, is like a lot of the monotonous and just, I don't know, punching number jobs will like, it'll take away a lot of the jobs that we like shouldn't do. Like humans, I think, are more creative and want to be more passionate about what they do. So I think that it'll help with that, and like people will more so be forced to be more creative. So I think that'll definitely be a good side of that. But I do think, most people have it in them to do it, but also the other side of it's completely fine. Like entrepreneurs, honestly, like when people say, what do you do? The last thing I'm going to say is an entrepreneur. I don't like it. A lot of people like think what they're doing is so serious. Like people ask me, oh, like, how'd you do it? And like all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't take it too seriously. I don't take myself too seriously, and I don't take entrepreneurship too seriously. I think it is like a very hard career path, and I don't think everyone can do it. But I also think like not a lot of people can do I don't think I could do the 9-to-5 job. And I admire the people that do have like good careers at like high up businesses. Like I think I would suck at it. Honestly. And that's not to say either's better. It's just saying like what you're good at and what you understand. Like I think I was always just like more entrepreneurial, and I think a lot of people don't have that. And it's like,
and that's okay.
Yeah. Like I literally, from like when I was like so young, like in elementary school, me and my friend Mitchell Lebrecht, we'd make duct tape wallets and sell them. Like, and we actually made good money. Like we went to his lake lot, and we brought a bunch of duct tape wallets, and we made like $600 like in like 2 days. And I was like, oh, this is sweet. I made something out of duct tape. And then even back then I was remember being like, okay, Mitch, like a roll of duct tape costs us $2, but at Dollarama or Dollar Tree, it's $1 a roll, dude. So we'd go to Dollarama, and we would literally, they would have no duct tape in that place, like in Sherwood Park forever. Like we were cleaning them out.
That's amazing.
And we would just sit there and make wallets and watch YouTube videos. And then we like did like snow removal stuff. We'd just walk around with a shovel in our neighborhood, and it was just like, and then my dad like would always just be like, "Okay, come to work with me today." And he would like never be like, "Oh, I'll pay you $20 an hour." I never knew what my dad paid me hourly. I just always worked with him, and he would just like be like, "Here's a check for $500."
Yeah.
And I never knew, because I think just being from a young age, like I just never associated like my time with like an hourly wage. So I never really understood it as I got older. Like I just always, I've had like 2 job interviews my whole life. Like and even then they weren't even job interviews. The one was me asking Steve for a job, and then it's Sherwood Park Dodge. It was just me going in and him being like, "Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow." So I think I just like taken that approach with like even hiring, like I just said with like Harmon and stuff. Like I think I've just always been like, don't take it too seriously, I guess. Like I really just think, since a young age, I've just been like, I see my dad do it, seemed to work out.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I think that's really powerful to take the pressure off.
For sure.
I remember what I was watching or listening to, or just in general things that I learn about. And one of even energetically, just taking the pressure off of anything, especially the things you want the most,
100%
will actually help you get
100%
it quicker.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, people put so much pressure on all of that, and it's just like there doesn't need to be that much pressure. Yeah. And what you do isn't that. It's not that serious.
Yeah,
it's
we're not like. You don't have to be saving lives.
No, it's just, I literally, like I said, I put condoms on cars. But they're colored condoms, and they make the car look
and
different.
They're sick.
Yeah, and they're super sick. You know, there's been times where I've had like $3 million worth of cars in my shop, and like people would be like, "Are you not stressed out?" I'm like, "It's not that serious. It's just another car."
Yeah.
Like, and like,
you probably have to see it that way, or else
you have to, or else like when I'm working on that
around
stuff,
a car.
Like that I had last year, like a $1.4 million McLaren 765 LT, and like. Back in the day, if you ever told Landin that you would have that car in his shop, I would lose my shit. And like in the era of me being at the old shop where I thought I was like all that in a bag of chips, I would have probably had a stupid ass party at the shop just to show people that I have this car in my shop. But then I just literally, I was like, okay. And I did the car, and it's just another car, and it left, and it's just, I got paid for it, and that's it. Like, it's just not that serious. Like, it's really cool. It's cool to hit those milestones. They're like dream cars of mine. But like also at the end of the day, I'm just like, it still pays the same. It's just another car. It's just another day. It's just,
Good for you.
Yeah. Trying again, just staying in the middle. Don't get too caught up on either side of it.
I'm curious if in life in general, like growing up, I guess, growing up, I was going to say pre-Nova, but I mean, you were pretty young starting that. Do you feel like you were someone who was able to be like, stay pretty grounded and even keeled?
No, no, I still am a very like anxious person. I have to tell myself this stuff a lot of the time just to stay neutral.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at it, definitely. But like the amount of times like I'll call all my buddies to just be like, I'm freaking out right now.
Yeah.
And they've had to talk me off. So they're going to hear this podcast and be like, he's not this even keel. Like they know but like I am real about it. Like, yeah. Like it's like, I tell myself this stuff and I listen to it and I do it and I'm getting better with it. But that's not to say like I've been sued twice in business. And the first time I was freaking out. I thought my world was coming down. And Steve and Cam were both just like, chill, this is fine. And like that's why I love having them, because they're just like, they know exactly what to do. They've been through this stuff a million times. I'll be hanging out with Steve and he'll be like, oh yeah, one of our trucks just got T-boned and like all of our equipment's like basically spread across an intersection. I gotta go deal with it. And he doesn't care.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then the first time I got sued, he's just like, all right, we'll hit up our lawyer and stuff like that. They're just like a really good, if I had to pay, like, so they own part of Nova and then part of the shop. But if I had to pay like lawyers and people just to talk me down off a cliff, it would cost a lot more money than what they, so it's like, it's such a good relationship with them. And at the end of the day, they support me more than the business. They care about me. So yeah, they're the ones that have like taught me this stuff to like just be even keel, because I'm way more high anxious than them. Like even Leah's way more chill than me. Like
she's very grounded.
She is super grounded, and like she's navigated business very well. Like I have been down and I have been so high up. Like it's just been like it's been both sides of it for me, and it's taken me like 8 years to get to this point. I think it's like 3 years of it being like better, but like those first 5-6 years were just crazy. Like it was just it was all over the place, and it's definitely something I have to learn. It's still
and that's
like
okay.
a working essay.
I feel like it can be up and down and different at different times, and it's such a blessing to have those people in your life.
For sure. Yeah,
because maybe it would take 20 years for you to like feel like you can even view it in a way where you can be grounded and just be, I identify with being an anxious person naturally too. And I also have to, it's a constant practice.
It is,
to allow yourself to operate at a more grounded level. And I think that's okay. Like you're aware of it. We all know our strengths and weaknesses.
For sure,
but they don't have to drive everything we do.
Yeah. I think everyone just has a little bit of anxiety. Like,
especially in today's world.
Yeah, 100%. Like everyone's just going to be a little like anxious with that. And then that'll just cause them to overthink. But like, just always trying to remind myself, like, just is what it is. It's not that serious, Do
you do anything on like the mindfulness side of things? Like, do you ever meditate? Do you like breathe?
The gym and church is
I was gonna say religion and working out.
Gym and church is my two forms of meditation. Like, taking yourself outside yourself is like what religion is good for. Like, it's like, you're not the center of the universe. Your problems.
Oh my God.
Everyone has the same problems as you. You're not. Yeah. Just don't think your problems are like your own problems and no one else could deal with them. And it's like,
you're never alone.
Because that's like also a super egotistical way of thinking. Like, oh, my problems are like so much worse than yours. Like it's almost like a problem competition.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, you don't even understand. Like I hear that so much in business. They're like, oh, dude, you don't even like understand the stuff that I go to in a day-to-day life. And like a lot of entrepreneurs will say that and be like, oh, like people with 9-to-5s that they'll complain about their jobs. Like, you don't even understand. It's like, are you having a competition on how like big your problems are? So religion helps me a lot with that, is just like taking myself outside of myself, just praying. I'll be struggling with something in a week and then I'll go to church on Sunday and he'll talk about that exact same thing. In that it's crazy how that works. And then just the gym, it's just something else to chase, like other goals, fitness goals. I'm always competing with Nolan on bench press, like trying. Well, he's not even a competition, but he sets me like these little like workouts to get my bench higher. And then as soon as it's like way better, I'll always text him and be like, "Dude, I did this today." And then like, so it's like I have something else to chase. And then like Lucas is always running, but like I'll never run like him. But like it's just like it's.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
taking
and just
myself.
physically and mentally
Yeah.
and energetically moving your body.
Yeah, exactly.
great for
Yeah,
you. Get
So
you out of your head.
those are my mental practices and stuff. But I do need to better at like when I'm at work, like being more mentally conscious of like, like even how I'm acting with like, especially with employees now. Like when it was just me, I could
Yeah.
have a freak out in the shop when something wasn't going well. I could just yell whatever the hell I wanted and no one's there to hear me.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn that. Like there's been some jobs that haven't gone well, like on vehicles. Cause we're taking vehicles apart completely
Yeah.
and wrapping them and then having to put them back together. And when you mess something
can
up
be
and it's not
high
going back
stress.
together and the person's coming the next day to pay you $8,000 for their car
Yeah.
and you're having a hard time putting it back together, it's an absolute nightmare. And then you have that. And then like, as soon as like I find in my industry and what I do, like basically I'll do like 4 or 5 cars a day and then I'll have one big job throughout the week. But if those small jobs aren't going well, then I can't focus on the big job. And then towards the end on Friday, when that person's coming to pick up, and then everyone during the day, like I'll have 5 people at the shop in the morning dropping off, and then I'll have 5 people at the end of the day picking up. But then I'll have one big customer picking up at the end of the week. So it's like very easy for me to just, if I don't have if I have one day that's not productive, I am like screwed. So learning how to like not freak out in front of my employees and just staying calm, cool, and collected. Like I do have to go in my office every once in a while and just be like, God, like please help me. Like just like keep myself calm to keep them calm. And like, a new thing I'm having to learn is like instead of like me being like, God, please keep me busy enough to like pay for this month's rent. It's like now it's like I got to pay for 3 people. You know, like, and learning how to like cope with that. Like it's like I'm not just in this for myself now. I have to keep busy to now pay 3 staff. That's a huge learning curve that I have, and this is gonna be my first winter going through winter slow season for us.
Okay.
So it's like my first winter going through, and I got to keep all these guys happy.
Yeah.
So learning that and just like keeping my mental is just gonna be definitely a test this winter, and like going through that will be. I'm interested. I'm definitely see if all this talk can actually, play a game, but I think it will. And I think it'll be all good. But it's just
like you said, you can always go back to God's got you.
100%.
It's all going to work out.
And like, it's just.
You're a good person. In the end, I think like no matter what happens, you're going to handle it in the best way possible.
100%. And that's like, just something that I'm just mindful of. But I feel like you're very good with like keeping yourself level-headed too, though.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
You've done a good job. Like you have.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you were always like, even at like Nate, you were always just very good at like what you like presenting. Everyone honestly wanted to be in your group. Like it was just like it always seemed like you had the sickest groups. Like always. It was just me and Chris, the D-gens, like just always. We were always messing around, making jokes, and calling too. And then we'd be in a group with like some people that just.
Oh, I remember watching some of your guys' presentations.
Yeah,
I'm like, oof.
They were, but like you were always like so like level-headed. And honestly, when I first like met you, I would have never thought you were like high anxious person, like you say. Like that's shocking to me.
I get that a lot, and I think it's because I, especially back then, was like so conscious of how I was being perceived that I would really do anything to hide it, and maybe just disassociate too. Like when I'm up there presenting, like I'm blacking out.
Yeah, for sure.
It was fully just preparation and then blacking out and doing
100%.
it. And I think that's kind of prepped me for this. Like I was almost held back in school because I wouldn't speak. Like in elementary, like I was so shy, so scared to be perceived. And it's funny how then you go to like, business school, everything happens for a reason. Now I yap on a microphone every week. 100%. So I'm like, it's funny how that all works out. Yeah. But I remember there was like a case competition. I think it was our final one. Yeah. And my group ended up winning, and that was really fun. Yeah. And then meant nothing in the end. Didn't do anything for me, but
you never know what that like, you never know what comes out of that.
So
you know
true.
What I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's crazy how like small. Or like how you and me didn't know each other at all, but then like now that we've gotten to know each other, like how everything's like so interconnected.
Oh my
like
God.
You guys were at that Halloween party, and I'm just like, oh, I know Erin, and then you're with Leah, and then it's like, who's that? And then it's like, now I'm married to her, and then it's like,
can I tell a story?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to tell this story. So Landon and I and our friend Curtis, another shout out to Curtis. Yeah. And so we are all in business school at this time. This is like literally 7 years ago, I think, right now, 2018.
Yeah.
And it was a Halloween party, so pretty much exactly 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I'm with my bestie Leah and Jade, and we go to his Halloween party. I think it was Dan's Halloween party. Okay,
It
all
was.
these characters we've already mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All good people still around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I go with the girls to the party. Landon and Leah meet for the first time, and they're having a conversation. And I'm talking to Curtis. Landon comes in from wherever you guys are having your conversation.
Yeah.
And he comes up to us and he says, "That's my dream girl."
Yes.
And literally since that night, you guys have just been together
Yeah.
and been like the best couple you can imagine.
Yeah, I always knew who she was. I knew of her family. And I met her two sisters before, Kelly and Claire. And I always knew she was the youngest. And I just always had like an inkling towards her, something about her. And then, I met her that night, and then the rest is history. And like, it's so cool to see how like it just all connects though. Like there's like so many like, you know, puzzle pieces to make that happen. Like I always say like, I wouldn't have, if it wasn't for, you know, meeting a different group of people and like an older group of people and having the confidence that I had at Nate and stuff like that, like, you know, maybe I wouldn't have approached her and my life would have turned out very differently if I didn't, you know, if I didn't have a little bit of that ego and chip on my shoulder of starting Nova with these, you know, let's just call them millionaires, right? Like they're very successful guys. And if I didn't have that chip on my shoulder, I probably wouldn't have approached Leah. I didn't have that confidence before to approach someone. Like she's 2 years older than me. Yeah. She was always like the it girl. Like I was just like,
she's a strong
woman. So I was just like, there's a Drake line. It's like, she's a real ass woman and I love it. That's what I think of Leah as. But like, so it's just like, and it's all interconnected. Like it's
so interconnected.
And then our wedding, seeing it all come to fruition, you know, it was like pretty crazy. That was like probably the coolest moment of my life, I'd say. Is like, you know, I have all my day one guys there. Like literally, like I've known like some of my friends like Colin, I've known since I don't even know. Like we were so young. Yeah. And Curtis and like seeing like Owen and Nolan and Lucas and like, and then seeing them with now, you know, a group of guys that are 11 years older than me, but have also been like my mentors for the last 7 years, and like seeing them all come together, and then like all of you girls, and like, it's just, it's a blessing, and I'm very blessed to like grow up in Sherwood Park and like have experienced like all of this. And like, I love Sherwood Park for that too. Yeah. It's just, everyone is like a family and everyone supports everyone. You know, one that comes to mind that's like friends with Candy, Jason Miller, like his family, like I've known them for a long time, but like they've always supported me and brought their vehicles to me. And there's so many families like that, like the Sagus, like there's just so many families in Sherwood Park that have truly supported me. Like all of my friends, like their parents have brought their vehicles to me, and like all the older guys, they've all brought their, I don't think there's one of them. Like now when I go to group hangouts, I just see a bunch of wrapped cars in the driveway that I've all done because they've all supported me. Like there's like literally 10 of them in a driveway at some points where I'm just like, they've all brought their cars with me. They've all trusted me, and they've all supported me, and like brought me so much work over the years. And like, it's one thing I really do love about growing up in Sherwood Park. And like, there's a hustle mindset there because like all the parents have done so well for themselves, and like all their kids are like, I see it. We're all just following suit. We're all, you know, everyone's doing what they can, especially in times that we're going through, but everyone's still making it work. And I think like, with like everything going on politically and stuff, everyone's still making it work. Yeah. And I really like admire that about Sherwood Park and the hustle that we all have.
That's something that always stands out to me, because growing up not in Sherwood Park, coming, even though it was just down the road in Fort Saskatchewan, when I first came to Sherwood Park and started being integrated in this world, really from becoming friends with like Leah, Summer, the girls, and then meeting like it's just down the road from where I grew up. But the mindset, not even the mindset, I don't want to say the mindset. That might sound bad. The vibe of like everyone has this entrepreneurial mindset and path, and like is so supportive of each other. Whereas where I grew up, and not to say it's wrong, but like pretty much all our parents worked at a plant site. Like it was 100%. Very much like a trades world, which is great. But I hadn't really been around that. And then I started being around all these people in Sherwood Park. And then I find, they say it's who you surround yourself with. And when you're surrounded by people who have they've seen success, and then they feel compelled. Like I think I was like 20 or 19 when I first started coming around and watching people already like start little businesses together. And that's the coolest part, is it's people doing it with their friends.
100%.
Like so many friends are working together. And I was just like, this is so different. Like I just had never really seen a lot of it. And it's definitely motivating. Even my group of girlfriends, we're all from different places, but when I look around, I'm like, everyone's doing their own thing, like such different things, but everyone's doing their own thing, 100%. And everyone's so supportive of each other. Like,
you girls are actually crazy, the amount of support that you guys give each other. It's actually really cool to see.
Aww,
like,
thanks. I'm very grateful for my circle of friends.
Yeah, you guys are always like, Instagram's kind of one of those funny things. I don't think guys share like really anything, which is fine. I don't really care. They but like girls, man, you guys post and it's like everyone's sharing it. Like, to their story.
And like immediately my friend posts something for their business and like share, comment.
Yeah, and I love to see that. Yeah, no, it's definitely, everyone's very supportive, and we have a very solid group of entrepreneurs and people that just are good people. Yeah,
just supportive people, no matter what you're doing in your work life.
100%.
Everyone's really supportive, and that was really something. I think your wedding was such a example of that, because Leah and Landon got married in Mexico, so it was destination, and anyone I told of how many people were coming to your wedding, and it was mostly friends, were like, what? That does not happen. Like that many humans do not go to your destination wedding. But it's just a testament to like you guys, who you are as people, and you have so many like strong connections in your life.
Oh, thanks.
And it was honestly just so fun.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I want to go back.
There's a lot more people than I thought, and it was pretty awesome.
Okay, so I'm curious, is there anything that stands out that you right now would tell fresh entrepreneur Landon as this seed of an idea of Nova entered his brain?
Oh, there's so much. Kind of like throughout the podcast I said like stuff that I like kind of believe within business. But I say the first thing I would tell him is that you'll overestimate what you can do in 1 year and underestimate what you can do in 10. Take it slow and just relax. Like, just let it happen. It's going to be a lot harder than what you think it is in a lot of the avenues, but a lot easier in some of the other avenues. Essentially, like, at the beginning, like, I just took everything too seriously, I think. And that was a lot of like what Nate said. So I think I just, don't overthink things. It'll all work out. Probably find religion or faith a little bit earlier on. Just something to get me out of my mind a little bit more. There's a lot. What else? Advice to my younger self.
I guess it's pretty much what like we have been talking about on this
I'm
podcast.
trying to think of stuff that's like other than what we kind of touched on. But no, I'd have to say, just kind of what we touched on throughout the whole podcast. Like, I can't really veer too much off of that because it's like truly what I just believe. It'll all work out. Don't take yourself too seriously. You can do a lot in 10 years, more than you think. Don't chase money. Don't attach yourself too much to your business. Like, have some separation from it. You're never going to stop working. It's part of it, and learn to enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy it and you just think of it as a task, then I don't think I'd be successful in business. So I think just, like learning that is how it is. That's your reality. Don't get too cocky in those early years. Definitely had some learning lessons along the way to do that. Just have faith in, what you're doing. Believe what you're doing is like a good thing. Don't try and like rip people off just to make a buck. Like, just truly do good work. Be an honest person. Help others along the way. Don't think you're better than anyone else, and just feel free to reach out to people. Like, the amount of times that like I just didn't reach out to people because I was just scared to like tell them my honest situation. Really like hindered me. Like, just I would want to talk to like Warren about accounting stuff, but I wouldn't want to disclose the money that I was making. And it's like, well, if you have a good friend, they don't really give a crap about what you're making. And like reaching out to Cam and Steve, and like not just reaching out to them in a business sense, but in a personal sense. Like, for years, I only talked to Cam and Steve about business wise, but never really like personal stuff. And, starting to do that, and then checking in with like my non-entrepreneur friends and just being like, hey, like, what do you think I can do better in this situation and stuff? And like, they have a lot more insight than what like, people think entrepreneurs can only help entrepreneurs. No, it's like people that have just been in business for a really long time. Like, Leah's dad's a really good example of that too. Like, he started businesses, but he's more so been in the role of like CEOs and getting hired to do that. And getting hired to be a CEO, people would say that's a 9-to-5 job, but Mel is like more entrepreneurial than I thought. And then also like there's so many different types of entrepreneurs that like you know, you got to talk to too. Like my dad's the super traditional, no marketing, no social media, nothing like that. And like talking to him about that. And like, I think in my younger years, I just didn't want to talk to people. I just thought I had it all figured out. I was like, I went to business school. My business already started, like pretty snooty about it. So I think, yeah, if I could go back and just slap myself across the face and be like, don't take yourself too seriously and just open up to people, like listen to people. And even at Nate too, I almost thought I was like better than some of the classes. Like it's like maybe I would have got more insight, or maybe I would have met someone like in those classes if I didn't have such a chip on my shoulder. It's too late now to go back and like really think about that, but it's something I do think about. Like, you know, it was a route that I took and I could have dived a little bit more into it instead of checking out so early. So yeah, there's like so many lessons that you learn.
Yeah.
Like I could literally go on forever. Entrepreneurship is the biggest lesson in business and growing up in life.
Yeah,
Just,
you're continuously learning lessons. I feel like it will never end.
Yeah, like my lessons that I've learned the last year are way different than the lessons that I learned early on. And yeah, like the early on lessons, like telling yourself it's going to be a lot harder to hire people than what you think. I thought that was going to be easy, and just yeah, your lows are going to be a lot lower than what you're at now. Like if you think the highs are going to bail yourself out of those lows, there aren't. Like it's like you have to learn to stay neutral through those. So yeah, there's just a lot that I could tell myself, but the biggest thing is like I wish I could just tell myself it all works out, because I would have saved myself a lot of stress and just tough nights, man. Like there's nights where you just can't sleep. Like it's just like you literally are like wide awake thinking about like everything. You know, the first time I got sued to like the second time I got sued to I'm sure when the third one comes. It's like just
it probably feels like the entire world is like crashing around you until you're out of it, and it feels like that won't end. But you right now can tell your past self like it does.
Yeah, time heals everything and you'll be fine. Like it's just the stuff that I used to stress about like a year ago and to the stuff I stress about now is like it's small and it's just it's crazy. It's a crazy journey.
Totally.
Yeah, I've learned a lot, and I'm very blessed to have, you know, people like you in my life and like all my friends, like and my family and Leah's family. I just wouldn't be here without them, and just I really like that now I'm at a place in my life where all the people that I'm around don't really give a crap about, like, you know, they just care about me.
Yeah, just you as a human.
That was like a while to get comfortable with that thought. I didn't have to disassociate myself from the business that I, you know, started in a young age. It's just, not letting it become all of you, I guess.
Yeah, your whole identity.
Yeah, that would have been a really good one to just tell myself back then. It's like, this business is what you do. It's not who you are. Like, stop letting it, you know, affect the way you think or your mood or whatever. Like, it's ruined, like, trips. Like, honestly, like, it's, you know, like, every year we go on, like, a crazy bachelor trip, it seems like. And last year I was hiking, like, Machu Picchu. And I'm with, like, 5 days in the bush. And I like turned on my phone. You had no reception. I turned on my phone for like 1 second. I see a bunch of stuff on my phone about work, and I let it consume me for like literally the day we saw Machu Picchu. I'm just like still thinking about work, and it's like I wish I could just go back to so many moments in my life where it was just tainted from like my business, and I will never let that happen again. That's for sure. Like no matter what I'm going through, I think now knowing all this stuff that I've gone through, I just wouldn't let it like wreck a moment for me, because I've let it wreck other things. And like it's kind of crazy how you let it just affect everything.
Well, and also I feel like you can't really beat yourself up for that, because it is like it is your baby. It's so much of your life.
I know.
But just trying to maybe, it sounds like, stay present in the moment. It's like, okay, that's happening, but what's happening right now, I want to soak this in. Which is easier said than done.
It's that's a very hard thing to do. It is a very hard thing to do. And like even being in the moment when I'm in my shop, like just when I'm at work, like not being so caught up in like, man, I watch my profit and loss thing like I watch like a Netflix movie.
I was going to say it's your Instagram, it's your TikTok.
No, it's just that stupid little chart. Like I just, I gotta, that's still something I'm trying to just stop chasing that necessarily. And I think that But I don't know if that'll ever get better. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's some
I mean,
things
it's
that I
fair.
think,
Like, it is your business to make money.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if maybe there's boundaries. You
It's
can
a
be like,
hard
hey,
balance to find.
only look at it these days.
Every day
Yeah.
after 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's, but it's fun.
And
Like,
you don't have to have the answers.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sure maybe in 2-3 years, what I think I'm saying now will sound stupid to me. But you know what? Right now, it seems like it's been the lessons that like seem the most prevalent in the day to day like life. But yeah, like staying disciplined and staying honest and just navigating it every day is gonna change. But yeah, and even like going back to when I had the burnout phases, like just going back, and if I could just tell myself like it's all gonna be all good would be great. But yeah, that's probably the main piece of advice I guess I have to have.
Well, I think you've offered a lot
Yeah.
in this podcast. And what stands out to me the most, there's actually so much. It's been so great actually to talk to you about this.
Thank you.
But what's really standing out to me is connection.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something I've talked about a lot here because I've learned a lot about it. And especially, not to get into this, but like post-COVID times.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we all kind of realize a little bit more the power and the importance of connection. And in your story, it sounds like it kind of always can come back to connection. Like the people you're connecting with, opening up, knowing, like feeling more comfortable to open up to people, because we all at the end of the day have so much more in common than we feel like when we're spiraling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People are my benchmark. I would not be at all who I am today without like the people in my life, and like I wouldn't have started this business without people in my life influencing me. Like I would have given up on this business, let alone starting it, if I didn't have people just constantly pushing me. Yeah, I just wouldn't. Yeah, there's a lot of things that all come down to people. I love people. I love the people that are in my lives. And I'm just so grateful for everyone that's helped me along the way. And
I'm sure they feel the same.
I hope so.
Yeah. Of
hope
course.
so. Yeah.
I'm grateful for you being here today.
Thanks,
this has been so nice. And I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
I'm inspired by you. And I love you. I love Leah. I love having you guys in my life. And I've loved this conversation. I think we got to have you back on the pod 100%. Again. Because this has just been great. I feel like we could yap forever.
Yeah, 100%. We could. No, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's cool seeing you come, both of us, all the way from Nate. And
right?
We basically had like the same working career length, school length.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny.
It's been the kind of like side by side feeling like for a long time. So it's cool to see you doing what you're passionate about. And
thank you.
Yeah, and crushing it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. You too.
Oh, thanks, Erin.
Awesome. Okay, well, you guys, I'm going to be linking Nova Auto Detailing below. I will be sharing on our Instagram, and make sure you follow along the journey. Connect with Landin, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.